let us start the new point, that is evidences of evolution. Collective thinking upon all the theories of evolution which we studied in earlier video implies that evolution is everlasting process of changes. However, it needs proof to prove it. The various proofs available in support of the theories are in the form of evidences of evolution. The first one is morphological evidences, second one is anatomical evidences, third one is vestigial organs, fourth one is paleontological evidences, fifth one is connecting links, and the sixth one is embryological evidences. In this video, we are going to study first three evidences, and remaining three evidences we are going to study in the next video. First, the morphological evidences. When we observe these images and compare in between them, the upper three images are of animals. There is similarity in structure of mouth, position of eyes, structure of nostrils, ear pinna, and thickly distributed hairs on body. And when we compare the structure of plants which are given here, then the leaf shape, venation of the leaf, and the leaf petiole, all these structures in these three plants are same. From that, we can say that there are some similarities in those groups, and hence it proves that their origin must be same and must have common ancestors. या ठिकाणी ज्या तीन प्राण्यांच्या इमेजेस दिलेल्या आहेत त्यांच्या माउथचं स्ट्रक्चर, आईजची पोझिशन, नॉस्ट्रिल्सचं असणारं स्ट्रक्चर, इयर पिन्ना आणि त्यांच्या शरीरावरती असणारे हेअर्स यांच्या रचना जर बघितल्या तर सर्व प्राण्यांच्यामध्ये त्या सारख्या दिसतात. आणि या तीन वनस्पतींच्यामध्ये जर तुलना केली तर पानांचा आकार, शिराविन्यास आणि या पानांचा देठ या तीनही वनस्पतींच्यामध्ये या रचना सारख्या दिसतात. याच्यावरून आपण असं म्हणू शकतो की या प्राण्यांचं असेल किंवा वनस्पतींचं असेल, मूळ जे आहे तर ते सारखंच आहे आणि त्यांचं इव्होल्युशन हे एकाच पूर्वजापासून झालेलं आहे. नेक्स्ट, the second one is anatomical evidences. When we observe these internal structure of animals, the first one is of human hand, the second one is foreleg of ox, third is of patagium of bat, and last one is flipper of whale. There doesn't seem any superficial similarities between human hand, foreleg of ox, flipper of whale, and patagium of bat. Also, use of those structures is different in respective animals. However, there is similarity in structure of bone and bony joints. माणसाचा हात, बैलाचा पाय, वटवाघळाचा पंख आणि देवमाशाचा पर यांची वरून जर रचना बघितली तर त्याच्यामध्ये कुठल्याही प्रकारचं साम्य दिसत नाही किंवा या प्रत्येक अवयवांचं त्या त्या प्राण्यांच्यामध्ये असणारं जे फंक्शन आहे ते वेगवेगळं असलं तरीसुद्धा या सर्वांचा इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चरचा अभ्यास केल्यानंतर असं दिसतं की त्यांच्या असणाऱ्या हाडांच्या रचना किंवा हाडांची जी जुळणी आहे ती या सर्व प्राण्यांच्यामध्ये सारखी दिसते. याच्यावरून आपण असं म्हणू शकतो की हे सर्व प्राणी जे आहेत त्यांचा ॲन्सेस्टर जो आहे तो समान आहे, पूर्वज या सर्वांचा समान आहे. थर्ड वन इज वेस्टिजियल ऑर्गन. द डेफिनेशन ऑफ वेस्टिजियल ऑर्गन इज degenerated or underdeveloped useless organs of organisms are called as vestigial organ. नष्ट होण्याच्या मार्गावर असलेले किंवा अविकसित असे उपयोगात नसलेले सजीवांचे जे ऑर्गन्स आहेत त्यांना वेस्टिजियल ऑर्गन किंवा अवशेषांग असं म्हणतात. इन लिव्हिंग ऑर्गॅनिझम सडन डेव्हलपमेंट ऑफ न्यू टिश्यूज ऑर ऑर्गन्स फॉर लिव्हिंग इन चेंजिंग एन्व्हायरमेंट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. इन्स्टेड existing organs undergo gradual changes. Mostly a specific structure in the body is useful under certain situation. However, same structure under different situation may become useless or even harmful. Such structures begin to degenerate under such situation as per the principle of natural selection, but it takes thousands of years for a structure to disappear, and such organs are called vestigial organs. The examples are, it is the appendix which is present in human being. In digestive system, it is present at the junction of large intestine and small intestine. It is non-functional in human being, but it is functional in ruminants. In ruminants, for the digestion of cellulose, it is useful in them. Then second example is of ear muscles. These ear muscles are not useful in case of human being, but they are functional in monkeys. The third example of vestigial organ is tailbone. It is also not useful in human beings, but it is useful or functional in animals having tail. And the last example is of wisdom teeth. These teeth are not useful in human being for chewing the food. All these examples are vestigial organs which are not useful in human beings, but they may be useful in other organisms.